Level Live. I appreciate you jumping on. Coming off an amazing event, and the momentum we've had over the last few days, last couple of weeks, we had a lot coming into the event, has really just been overwhelming in a very good way. So I'm going to give you and tee up 3 people today, and we had some awards at the very end of the award ceremony. We're going to have Brian Mendenhall on, not next week, but the week after. So the lineup we got today, you're going to hear from Athena and Ryan and Gaylin. And next week, you'll hear from a group from Family First Life Northwest, Tiffany, Gavin, and Luke. And the following week, you're going to hear from Brian Mendenhall the entire time. That was our MVP for 2018 with what he did in the sales end and how amazing the training was and what he provided to agents and empowered them. And you know, the first guest I'm gonna tee up today is Athena Villanueva, and she received the All In Award. And I think, you know, for us, and she told, you know, I always am interested when people do training to hear what they're gonna say. We don't, you know, these are all adult independent contractors, you know, so we just kind of say, hey, he would like you to train for 10 minutes, whatever the period of time is. And she shared a story, you know, a personal story that she had been through quite a bit of stuff health-wise, and how hard that was, and how she's continued to overcome it and get to the point where she needs to get to. But, you know, John Wetmore didn't sit her down and say, you need to discuss this, or Meaike kill him. Certainly I didn't. So it was just, and I think one of the reasons that as we talked to staff and other board members, people at the company, and kind of looked at these awards, she's done so much throughout the year to try to just, you know, while I think stories are great, I'm a big struggle, dream, victory kind of person. I love good stories, but you know, when you know, it's kind of like, I'd coach, and I had this parent say to me one time, you know, my son's really good, and I was like, he's 6'5", he's in 8th grade, he's athletic, he's 6'5" in 8th grade. The next biggest kid is 5'9". I got it, and it's not really a great story. We throw him the ball. He's taller, he puts in the hoop. Yay, congratulations. You know, I'm kind of like, I'm not mad at people who have insanely innate talent. Maybe I'm envious, I don't know. But I know when people fight to get to where they want to get to, which has happened with thousands of people we have this year, and they fought through things that I don't know a lot about, but to hear them share it, you're like, wow, I didn't know that, and to hear them talk about it. So, you know, the All In Award, as we roll through 2019, that is going to be our deal. Those are our marching orders. All in is all in. You know, I think one of the things we've been talking a lot about with people lately is, you know, being in your business, you know, kind of like, how are you marketing yourself? If somebody were to come up to you and ask you, you know, what is it that you do? I can remember being on an airplane with Dominique Rogers probably, 8 years ago. And one of the guys next to us was like, hey, and I've told this story a bunch lately. This guy says, what do you guys do for a living? Because that's always a good question, right? An icebreaker. And I just sit there and say nothing. I'm waiting for Dominique. And he's like, I have a life insurance license. We sell life insurance. And the guy's like, wow, that's the thing. I can read his face. He's like, that's about as uninteresting as it gets, you know? And I said, well, that seems to be what he does. See, I love helping people. We protect people. We protect their financial futures, their mortgage, to make sure if there's a death, they don't lose the home for their family. And if they're older and they're worried about final expense, we want to make sure they don't leave any debt to anybody. Nobody has to pay for their funeral expenses. That's what I do. We also help protect people's retirements and help them plan for retirement depending on the age and their certain circumstances. So we do a multitude of things. But for me, it's all about protecting people. We have a life insurance license. We're licensed to do it, which is outstanding. But I'm really more look like that we're, you know, and run a company. And so Family First Life is about putting the families first. So we just go out there and serve a bunch of families. And yes, we do make quite a bit of money, which is great. Life insurance companies pay us, the clients don't, so it's an awesome deal. And at the end of the day, I'm more of a business owner. This is what I was saying to the guy. I'm more of a business owner where we then empower and hire folks, because so many people in America have a part-time job, and well over 50% of the people that have a job have an additional job to make sure they make ends meet. And then there's another large percentage of the people that have a full-time job that say they're not even making ends meet. So we help people get a life insurance license, which they can do online and have in a couple weeks. And then we help empower them to do the exact same thing we do. So I protect people's money, their financial futures, and then I help folks have a better financial future to help them plan for their own financial futures and help them with the job, whether it's part-time or full-time. So, and we kind of laughed afterwards. He's like, that's what I do too. I'm like, I know, but it's what you say. I mean, this industry is so amazing, and when we can attract more people into it, because it's just such an amazing industry, I never got excited about the transactional end of life insurance. That's why I always think it's adorable when, you know, certain insurance carriers want to do a webinar every other day. It's like, I got it. I know what the products are. They're pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory, and we help people be in a better position. We protect them. So for me, I was much more excited about the social work and protection and making sure that Middle Americans also could provide for security and stability in the future upon a death. So I'm going to turn over to Athena Villanueva. She was our 2018 All-In Award winner at the annual convention. It's all yours, Athena.
Hey guys, Athena Villanueva, Family First Life Coastal. Thank you, Shawn, for having me on today. It's an absolute honor. First and foremost, I want to thank you for the All-In Award. For many of you know that we're in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to receive the award in person. And thank you for all those that reached out to me. When I woke up, I literally was in tears for about an hour, just overwhelmed by all the love and appreciation. And it is an absolute honor to win this award. And Meaike and Shawn wanted me to talk about what I think the award means and what it means to me to have received it and the things that I've done, I believe, in why I achieved it, if that makes sense. So, I've been in this industry for, 7.5+ years now, and, seen a lot in this industry, and I just, the platform we have here at FFL, there's nowhere like this out there. And so when it comes to what we can do to help others, I mean, I'm 150% all in as far as, what we have here. And it is such an honor to be in business with so many selfless leaders willing to help each other. And, all I've ever done in this business is duplicate what others are doing that are having success. So if someone's where I want to be as far as achieving, from a business standpoint, achieving what I want to achieve, then I'm going to seek out that knowledge and duplicate as much as possible, because why would I not, right? So reflecting on last year and maybe, reflecting on some of the things that helped me earn this award, in my opinion, first, it starts with your attitude. And, for me, obviously life is going to happen to everybody, right? We all have different problems, business, there's going to be ups and downs with running a business, highs and lows all the time. So I'm constantly working on myself, every single day, doing what I can to get better. And, basically, I'm always open to feedback. What could I do better? On the phone constantly with Wetmore, asking questions daily, and I reflect back, and I wasn't always that way, meaning, not so open to feedback, not so open to, seeing what I can improve on a regular basis. And I feel like that was kind of a big turnaround for me last year. And, attitude is so important in this business. Everyone talks about attitude, activity, but attitude is so crucial. And I find when I'm not working on myself, my attitude is not so good. So last year, dealing with life and dealing with business, it was so crucial for me to work on myself continuously, to have a good attitude. So I often ask people, agents in the business, what are you doing to work on yourself? What are you doing to work on your attitude? And, some of the other things that, obviously tons of people have helped me along the way in this business. And I feel like last year I just embraced helping whoever I could, not necessarily on my team, if it's other agents on other teams, whoever. I believe the more good you do, the more good you get. And the more you help others, it just comes back to you. I strongly believe that. I truly, truly do. And I feel like, I see people's business explode with that type of attitude, with that type of giving mentality. And, obviously my team guys, support. So, I know I've talked about, being there for your agents. And, I'm saying, like, you see these organizations like Meaike, John, Andrew, Mark, Paul, all these large, massive organizations, and I don't want to leave anyone out. Those are just a few. But, the phone. Last year I'm constantly answering my phone, regardless if it's convenient for me. And prior to that, maybe years prior to that, I wasn't so open to just, answer my phone all the time, regardless of my situation. Answering my phone when wasn't convenient for me. Like doing what I could to help others so I could put them in a better situation, and those are things that I'm constantly asking myself, how can I help others more? Am I truly being a good mentor for them? Things like that. And I see the businesses that explode the most are those that have the most support for their agents. They're just constantly there for them. And it's all about asking questions, guys. Like, obviously, those that want to grow, or I assume those that want to grow should have a lot of questions. And I think the past couple of years, for me, especially last year, I'm flooded with questions, for those in a place where I want to be. There's times last year where I was on the phone with different VPs across the country. I made a list of questions. I want to learn from their mistakes. I want to learn the things they did right. I want to learn from the things they did wrong. Having quality staff, that this is new to me. This was the first time I've had full-time staff. So why not ask those who have large organizations, who are succeeding, who are growing? I would get on the phone with them. What could I do to improve things in my office? Painting, I learned that painting vision of where you want to go to your staff, how crucial that is. If you don't have good staff, how do you expect to grow in this industry? How do you really expect to expand without that structure? And I learned it's pretty impossible. Prior to that, I didn't take it so serious. I would have a part-time admin here and there, and those come and go. So I needed full-time staff, quality staff that saw my vision of where I wanted to take this business. And I realized how crucial it was. So, getting on the phone with people, asking a lot of questions, you hear the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. Well, it's going to determine the quality of your business. If you're not asking a lot of questions, then are you really trying to grow? And this really began to resonate with myself. And I'm like, I should have tons of questions if I want to grow. And I'm just always constantly trying to seek that knowledge from those that are where I want to be. And I've learned so much, and I thank all those that I've talked to throughout the year and given me so much insight on their businesses and the mistakes they've made. And that's just the amazing thing about Family First Life. You could call anyone in this organization and they're willing to help you. And that's all I've ever tried to do to reciprocate is, people on other teams calling me for help, things like that. I've started a women's hiring call. I'm just trying to give back because I'm just so insanely grateful for all that has been done for me. And, through the years, something that I've really had to develop, and I feel like a lot of agents that build and start hiring struggle with this, is patience. They're like, how do you have patience? I'm like, this is something you have to intentionally develop. Hiring is very much delayed gratification, right? Sales, you sell, you help the families, you make the commission. Well, it's very different on the business side. You have to help and mentor agents. So I was a disaster when I first came into this business, and I sucked like most people, right? But I remind myself, I remind myself where I was when I started, when I get frustrated with agents, because the more patient I can be, the more I can actually give people a chance, really, help them, believe in them. And that's helped me so much tremendously. And I've had many of my mentors and people that have helped me have been patient with me. And I feel like the more you develop that patience, the more you're able to help more agents win and succeed. And those are just some of the things I think that have helped me along the way in last year, and I hope that makes sense. But I also want to talk about some of my goals for this year. Obviously, I have board member, $1 million a month in sight. But, some of the things I plan to do to achieve board member. Obviously, as you know, last year I've discussed how I was taken out of the field, unfortunately, due to some health challenges. But this year, I'm dedicating it to being my healthiest yet. And I'll produce as much as my health will allow, so I could invest into the business, because there's no better way than helping families out there in the field. But I plan to get to board member. Some of the things I'm doing, obviously, like on the sales side, guys, the more you invest, the more your business grows. So on the marketing side, I'm increasing my investing, easily $2,500 a month on marketing. I'm expanding staff, so not only will I have more than just one full-time administrator doing contracting, but I've recently hired another gal. She's going to be doing social media, helping with other back-end things for hiring and things like that. But, quality staff, growing staff, increasing marketing, and those are some of the things I plan to do to achieve board member. And also improving social media. So I've realized how crucial it is this day and age, having a strong social media presence where I've really lacked. So with new staff, I hope to improve and, grow this year with improving our systems there as well. But some of the other things I plan to do is I plan to be better with my time. So focusing on the people that are doing what they say they're going to do. Years past, I've wasted countless hours with people who say they're going to do X, Y, Z, and they're not doing anything, wasting my time. So this year I'm dedicated to helping those that are serious, those that are dedicated, they're all in, they're doing all the things they say they're going to do. And that's where I'm going to devote my time. So it's all about action, guys. But, those are some of the things. I'm going for board member. We're going to just work on growth quarterly, but I know we're going to get there. But thanks again, Shawn, for having me on. Hope this all makes sense. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Athena. And I got no doubt you're going to board member. I have no doubt that that's where you're headed. I have no doubt that's where your team's going to go. And I also have no doubt there are going to be folks that work with you that are going to get there. I think one of the things that's so funny, because 5 years ago, if you had said, we are going to head to 250 million issue paid in a year, I don't know that anybody that worked with us would have said, I believe that. I think they may have kind of nodded their head and tried to support us, but and it's so now unbelievably believable, because we're doing it, and achievable, that, to head to $1 billion in paid business in a year, the next 5 years is not remotely beyond the realm of possibility. So thank you for that. The next guest I'm going to bring on is Ryan Montalto. He was our 2018 All-American. That was the award he got. I think Ryan's also somebody who, I think when Ryan got in this business, he did what a lot of other people do. I think he got into it and said, life insurance sales can make me a bunch of money. I am going to help people, but I'm just going to do what I need to do to handle my business for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm getting my license. He came out of the restaurant business. That's kind of a very difficult, it's a very difficult 7 day a week, 12, 14 hours a day if you're the owner, and I was kind of like that old adage, I owned a restaurant. No, the restaurant owns you, bro. If you work somewhere and you got to be in it 7 days a week, 15, 16, 18, 20 hours, or it falls apart, you don't own a business. The business owns you. And I think that's where he always came from in his mind and his heart. And there was a period of time and that he just decided, you know what? I'm going to keep working to protect people, but I'm really going to build a business so a bunch of other people can understand how to be financially free. So they can work 40 hours a week and have a better financial life. And I love what he's doing in the field, because I think one of the things that for me, I remember I was getting Jeremy Thornton, America, was trying to call me. It was probably April 2014, and he couldn't, he was trying to reach me, and I kept like missing him during the day. And he said, man, you must have had a busy day in the office. We've been trying to connect all day long. I said, yeah, the office, meaning my car and the appointments. And he's like, you still run appointments? Like, you run the company? I'm like, yeah, that's how we get paid. And I love doing it. Now it reached a point where I couldn't do it time-wise anymore. But I never woke up one day and went, and again, everybody's different. I mean, I was kind of, I talked to a guy the other day, and he's like, how short a period of time could I sell life insurance and get rich? I'm like, first of all, that's very discombobulated. I don't even, ask that again. Well, and basically what I said was, do you like helping people? Ryan's idea, and he's going to share, because he was telling me a little about this, about going to 10 million and about staying in the field until he's doing $1 million a month. Well, number one, being in the field is very gratifying. It pays very well. Best override you got, as my buddy Mike Kilmet will say, yourself. By the way, congratulations to Brent Abernathy. This is Brent's first month, right, Mike? Senior board member?
Yes.
Congratulations. Outstanding. Great job. And on from here, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't.
Wetmore, first month as board member.
Wetmore, first month board member. So congratulations, great stuff. And I know we'll have a lot more next month. But Ryan's ideology behind, you know what? I love doing what I do, and I also want to continue to be able to help the agents I have now. And I'm not going to be that busy at $400 or $500 a month that I can't be in the field. It's kind of funny, because I just always liked to work. I didn't, you know what I mean? I'm sorry I did. I'm not working at UPS, and you can get promoted. I'm like, you all stand around all day long and do nothing. I don't want to do that. I like working. I don't, and then you boss everybody around, yell at us, and then I kind of get frustrated with you, and that seems weird, because you're not even doing, or you got hired and you never even unloaded the trucks or drove the trucks or loaded the trucks. And so for me, you're going to tell me about how to drive my truck and unload it. You better know how to do it, and you better have done it in the very recent past. So I just really I'm a believer in that, and I think that sometimes people try to find a way to keep busy. They're not as near as busy as they think they are. So Ryan's philosophy about what he's going to do this year, you talk about John Wetmore, it's funny. First month at board member Mike, and John Wetmore went back in the field. He doesn't need the money, but he's like, I just want to work. And sometimes I'm kind of like, I'm looking for something to do. I have some great people that are very independent and work very well, and they're building their business. So why not go back out there a couple of days a week, make extra money, and working Facebook leads and internet leads. So man, Ryan, you've been a blessing. You've changed tremendously, like we all have, and we're all trying to get better every single day. A bunch of imperfect people helping imperfect people. But I love listening to you talk convention, best talk you ever had. Then he called me up, why was it the best? Not just thanks, it's the best you ever heard you. Is why? And I was like, it was relatable. You were just very transparent. You were empowering, and you genuinely cared, and the information was great. So I'm going to turn it over to my buddy, Ryan Montalto.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Montalto, the 2018 All-American Award winner. I just wanted Shawn has me out here going over a couple things today. I just wanted to thank Shawn first and foremost for believing in me, and giving me this award, the All-American Award. Without Shawn, his vision, his dedication, and everything he does for me, does for, Family First Life, none of this could ever be, capable. So I really appreciate Shawn giving me this award, and everybody. I also wanted to thank everybody that put on that convention. 2019 was by far the best convention I've ever been to. It had definitely the best energy, and definitely had some of the best vibes coming out of it. I think 2019 is going to be huge. I definitely think the staff needs to take a bow. They did a great job, and I also appreciate them and getting this award. I also want to thank Mike Kilmet, for pretty much mentoring me, taking me pretty much under his wing, helping me become a better manager, helping me become a better, agent, helping me become, where people want to follow me, who want to, progress and to be better. So I wanted to thank, Kilmat for that. I also want to thank, Brent Abernathy for getting me into the business. Without him and Allison, I'd have never known anything about insurance. So I definitely wanted to thank them for getting me into this business and showing me that there's a way to make more money than just $100,000 or $200,000 a year, and that there's no lid, and I can just continuously just keep getting better and better and better. So I appreciate that too. From Brent and Allison Abernathy. And then last and least, I want to just thank, John Wetmore. Without him blazing some of the paths and, setting some of the goals, I mean, I could definitely see, because, I mean, at a certain point, Meaike and Brent were getting up to a very high level. Wetmore was still down a little bit towards the bottom of the heap. He's up at the top now, but, I mean, definitely blazing it, setting some goals, and I know some of those goals are achievable and still getting it. So thank you guys for what you do. Without that, I don't think I'd have been able to get this award. So I appreciate that. But last and most important, I definitely want to thank, Family First Life United, the team. Without their hard work and dedication and getting everything together, I don't think we would have been able to, do the things we did, which was almost 4 million in issue paid volume. And this year we're going to do 10 million. So I think without them, I definitely don't think I'd have been able to win this award. So thank you guys. And I appreciate you guys, everything that y'all do. Everybody from Shawn, my mentors, Meaike, Brent, Wetmore, and then to the team. I appreciate everything. Thank you guys. Shawn kind of got me on today, and he kind of wanted to just to thank everybody, but not only just thank everybody, but kind of tell you kind of what I've done a little bit different, 2018, maybe to get to the position of winning an award. So, I mean, really with that being said, I mean, it all starts with attitude. I was on stage this year and I talked about selflessness. I definitely believe if you're a selfish person, it's very hard to grow. It's very hard to grow managers. It's very hard to grow agents. It's very hard to grow an agency. So, I mean, really, guys, I mean, what it boils down to, you guys have got to start believing in other people, not only just believing in them, but you also got to be able to, push them, get them going, and help them, whether it's with leads. This year, definitely, I've bought more leads, put people on lead assist, help people out with leads. Did I always make the perfect ROI or the return on investment on it? No. But I believed as long as I was helping people and it was helping them progress, that would come back to me in tenfold. So, I mean, I definitely did a lot more. My attitude was definitely a lot better this year as far as selflessness. Also, Shawn it was just really funny, the quick story, when Shawn was up on stage, and I think about out of the first sentence, he was like, so this guy I met, 4 years ago. And then when I met him 4 years ago, he knew everything. So it was really funny. The minute he said that, I turned to Meaike Killamat, who I didn't know knew I was getting an award, but he already did knew. I said, is he talking about me? And Meaike just looked at me and goes, yes. So, I mean, it was really funny, but I mean, I have grown a lot since then. I mean, really, I don't know if it was just an insecurity of thinking that I knew everything, but I did know a lot of things from when I was coming from the restaurant business. But when it pertained to insurance, I didn't know it all. So, I mean, it really did I did have to really kind of break myself down and really have to, try my hardest to not know everything. That way I could get out there and I could start from zero, and then I could learn everything about the insurance business and everything about how to manage people, not only just how to manage people, but also to motivate them and get them to the next level, get them to start managing and getting them to help people. I mean, that's really what we're doing here. I mean, we're building people, we're building agencies, we're helping families, the families that we protect and our families and our family of agents. So, I mean, really kind of the selfishness and definitely not knowing everything, kind of breaking that down. Once I decided to open up and allow, to listen to other people, listen to what they were doing, how they were doing it, and, and kind of like, almost like that blind leap, just kind of, faith, fall back and just hope somebody's there to catch you. I mean, they've always been, all these guys. So, I mean, I appreciate that. And I definitely believe selflessness, not knowing, and then positivity. I mean, nobody wants to talk to a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to talk to somebody who's always negative, who all they harp on or think about is the negatives. I mean, because this is the thing, is the world is full of negative things. I mean, I even quit listening to some of the news and stuff during the day because you just can't take it. I mean, negativity, it just puts you in a different, light, puts you in a different mood. So I'm a firm believer that if you can keep if you can be unselfish, kind of break yourself down. Probably the biggest thing when I looked at myself was, I thought I knew everything when I didn't. And then positivity, keeping that going with the attitude. So I really think that's a great way to start off. The other thing is probably work ethic. When we got into this business, because I didn't know everything about insurance, but the only thing I did know how to do was work hard. So I mean, when we first started off, I mean, which is kind of funny, 10 to 15, appointments a week was really a full week. I mean, we were trying to, issue pay $5,000 a week, try to get to 20,000. That was when we started off. But as we progressed, that 10 to 15 became 15 to 20. But really in 2018, there was no excuse. I mean, really, if you weren't running, 24 plus appointments, you really weren't working full time. That's, however you want to splice it. I mean, now it's 30 plus appointments. I mean, because, what we have to understand is if you're not out there working, I mean, you're not helping families, you're not helping yours. So, I mean, work ethic was one of the easiest things. And it was the easiest thing for me to do at the beginning, because that's where I came from in the restaurant business. But it also allowed, me to just, throw as much, the spaghetti against the wall, proverbial spaghetti against the wall, see what sticks. But, as I got better and I saw more people, a lot more of those policies were sticking and everything started doing a little bit better, more money in the bank account. Then I was able to, start helping other people. Once I kind of got myself stable, I was able to get out there and help other people. But now that we're doing 20 plus appointments, but what I did in 2018, which kind of took our team, Family First Life United, from that, that $100,000 to $150,000 range and just kind of going up and down, up and down. I mean, I see it on the leaderboards. There's a lot of people that are there. What I did is I did it as 2 full-time jobs. So one full-time job, and there's tons of people in this world that work two full-time jobs. I mean, work 2 8-hour shifts, 16 hours a day. So, I mean, I worked it just like that, or mentally worked it just like that. I would go see those 24 plus appointments a week, but then I would also start with just talking to 20 agents a week. I had to talk to 20 agents a week, whether I hired them or not. I had to talk to 20 agents a week. That's almost 80, 20 to 25 is almost 80 to 100 people a month. So I was working, and I was using, working in the field as an insurance agent and then hiring as 2 full-time jobs, not doing a little bit here, a little bit there, running 5 or 6 appointments, then talking to 5 or 6 people, or doing 10 to 15 appointments and then, talking to only 10 or 15 people. I made a, conscious effort of wanting to talk to 20, 25 people and running 20, 25 appointments. So as that started getting, then the goals were, trying to hire 10 to 15 of those people. Then it's trying to hire 20. Now for 2019, what we're trying to get into is trying to hire, 20 agents a week. But I mean, I can't do that alone. I mean, there are some people out there. I'm just not that good to do it. So I need help. I mean, so in order to do this, I had to get good at hiring and good at, selling insurance, so I could help other agents and other managers learn how to do it too. Like I got Todd Shipley, who now hires 10 to 15 people. 10 to 15 people per week. I also got, Jared Henderson is out there talking and hiring 5 to 10 people per week. I mean, I got other agents out there. Grant Irons doing the same thing. My brother, Brandon, he's talking as much warm market as he can. When he starts figuring out how to do it in the home, and then he can start doing, how to hire. But he's hiring warm market now, and he's bringing them in and letting me help them and get them going and help them, through the lead assist process and getting up and going. But not only just that, I mean, and Kirk and Kyle Hastings, the brothers over there, I mean, they're doing the same thing. They just started, and I mean, they're achieving high levels. But what's happening is I'm not having to do it all alone. Also, I've hired some staff too. You're going to have to hire staff, guys. If you think you can do it all alone, it's impossible. Especially when you're still trying to run business and you're still trying to talk to and hire people. I still, to this day, I talk to at least 15 to 20, even though I've hired staff, just because I want them to know that I can hire, I can still talk to people. She sets up my calendar. But I mean, that's one of the big differences. The big differences I think in 2018 was, treating it like 2 full-time jobs. Now in 2019, I mean, we're ready to go, guys. I mean, we're ready really to do about $10 million in issue paid business. In order to do that, we're gonna have to almost triple. I mean, we're doing about 400,000 right now, so we're going to have to 2.5 times that by the end of the year to get to that 10 million. So I mean, in order for us to do that, we're going to have to grow. I mean, I'm still going to have to run business. I am definitely running business. I mean, there's tons of people out here. Well, how long before you get out of the field? Well, I don't know that answer yet. I mean, because I'm going to be running at least till a million once I get this full year, and then I'll take a look at it and see if I still need to run at the end, or maybe it gets too big to where I have to do, something else. But I mean, I always hear people say that, and I was like, because if I don't run, I don't make any money for my business in order for me to help agents, to help people and get them going. So, I mean, really, some of the biggest things, really is just, it's attitude and it's work ethic, guys. It's not easy. Nobody ever said it is, but I'll tell you what, it is probably one of the most lucrative things I've ever done. But I appreciate everybody that was at conference, all 1,700 of you guys getting up there and clapping for the award. I appreciate it. I definitely thank you, Shawn. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Outstanding. I appreciate you, buddy. And 10 million a year. I get no doubt about it. That's a big number, and I got no doubt it's a number you can achieve. You have an amazing, amazing group of people. Our last guest for today, if you've not heard Gaylin Ware speak, if you were at the award ceremony, I don't need to say much else about him. I had no idea Gaylin was going to share what he shared and how he shared it. He's the team player of the year. We did that in memory of Bubs, Mark Kindler's son, who is and just talk about team player, an amazing young man, and to be able to celebrate who he is and what he always did for everybody here, and how he still got his hand on us, meant everything to me. And to hear Gaylin talk the way he did about who he is and where he's going. Gaylin's always been all heart since we started. Clients, leads, agents, wherever it was heart, man. It still has been to this day. If you want to know how to effectively run a sales organization, he's learning how to get to senior VP and board member. But if you want to learn how to run an agency and you want to learn about your communication, spend 4, 5, 6 hours with Gaylin Ware. The phone won't stop ringing and he won't stop answering it. And he's learning to help get people to grow in their independence. He's learning to challenge them appropriately, but also continue to be there for them. His compassion runs really deep, and he's also the kind of person that can talk about anything because his heart's in the right place. So he talks about things with clients that might be difficult for them to hear, with agents that might be difficult for them to hear, but because his heart's in the right place, he's able to do that. What you see is what you get. He is as imperfect as everybody else, and he's not. He don't run from that. He'll shoot you straight when he's talking about your life insurance. He'll shoot you straight about the consequences. He'll shoot the agent straight about what they need to be doing. He'll shoot them straight if they're not making money. And he, at the end of the day, is more worried about their success than he is the dollar bill. It's what makes him great. And I think when you get a bunch of like-minded people that, while we are in it to be crazy successful, but we want to see the agents make as much money as they can, regardless of what it's doing for us in the short term, it's hard to compete with that. That's one of the things I always said when we launched the company is they might have a lot of other ideas, they might be further ahead IT-wise, might be further ahead in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, the stuff we care about is different than the stuff they care about. We want to see the agents win big, and money's not our number one motivator. It hasn't been, it ain't gonna be. It's just not. The money's gonna come. Do the right thing, it's gonna come, but we don't have these little huddles daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly to go, how much do we get and when and how? It doesn't work that way. Do right by the agents, do right by the clients, and that'll be right by the company. That's your three-legged stool approach. Your team player of the year, who has helped. I've gotten more people to say, Gaylin, I don't even work with him. I'm over here in another part of the country, but I reached out to him, shot him a text, message, email, phone call, and he helped me out. It's why he was our 2018 team player of the year. In memory to Bubs, we love forever. I turn it over to Gaylin Ware.
Hello, everyone. This is Gaylin with the Family First Life Balanced Options. Super excited. Here to talk to you today about teamwork. But I have to start with the Team Player Award of the year of 2018. What did that mean to me? I don't really know how to express it. It's the first time I've ever received such an award as an adult. I've gotten plenty of them as a kid, and playing different sports in school and different, other little things that I've done during my younger years, but never such an award as an adult. Grateful for the young man that, in honor of the young man for that award, for me to have received it. Was speechless. I pray God I never have to bury one of my kids. My prayer still goes out to that family. But that said a couple of things to me. That young man had to be well loved by a lot of people. But then, the strangest thing about it, his father had to be a very loving and kind individual to have been able to have such an award billed in his son's honor at Family First Life. So, but that tells you who we are as a company. It makes such a bold statement. If you were ever wondering were you in the right place, if you still got that wondering mentality, you're probably not in the right place. But at this point, after 2018, this year, January, the conference for this year, after that conference, if you still trying to find yourself, do you have the right feeling here? Is this the right outfit? I'm probably the most confused individual that you could ever talk to about that right now. I say that because there were so many things that I was going through when I first came here 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. My wife, I take my hat off to her every single day. She was so excited about this business till I just couldn't tell her I didn't want to be bothered with it. And, if you're married and your spouse gets excited about something that you've never seen them excited about before, it'll force you to make some changes. It'll force you to swallow your own pride and make you dive in head first, even when you don't even want to. And that's what she did for me, because if it wasn't for Michelle, and then after I committed to come over, Meaike Hillman, and the number of times I've talked to Shawn on the phone about issues that made me want to go out and hunt somebody down and kill them. Shawn, Meaike, had it not been for them, I wouldn't even be here to even talk to you right now, because I would have left a long time ago. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I don't even know what else to say outside of just being super thankful to those people that I just named. The thing about what it really meant to me was it proved to me that like I said, I was in the right place, that I had created the proper mindset. I had accomplished some real goals that I had kind of put in place for me to win personally. Because, you still can't win until you set yourself up to win, which means being around the right people, talking to the right folks, which is, of course, involves keeping the right company. If you don't do those things, you can't win, people. You can't be hanging out with folks who are not doing anything and you're going to be the only one to do something. It's not going to happen. You're going to sure enough be noted by the company you keep. Your company is lazy, guess what? You're going to be lazy. You want to get around somebody that's on fire, somebody that's hot, somebody that's popping right now. Because if you don't, guess what? You're not going to be hot, you're not going to be popping, and you're not going to be successful. And you probably won't be here that long. That's the key to success at Family First Life. So the things that I had to do, in 18, I had to really trust the process. Trust in the process was the foundation for me building the relationships that I needed to build, needed to continue building. Did it come all at once? No, it didn't. It did. It never does. I had mutual respect for my partners, all of them. You know, the VPs, regular sales agents. It didn't matter. I've always respected people as long as they respected me. And I didn't have any issues having the respect that I needed as a man here at Family First Life, so mutual respect was there. I was mindful about taking responsibility for any words or actions. If I said something wrong, I took responsibility for it. If I acted inappropriately, I took responsibility for it. And if there was something I needed to change, the thing that made me excited was Kilman would not talk to me and tell me the little great things that I wanted to hear. He told me what I needed to change. And I respect that man so much for being who he is, as well as Shawn Meaike. It's the same thing. You don't get sugar-coated conversations from him. You don't get real-life conversation. You don't get grown-up conversation. So if you're expecting something else, don't call him. I'll just be honest with you. Open communication. I communicated. Because I expected people to communicate it to me, to communicate to me or with me. The other thing is, there were times where I didn't really want to be didn't want to be involved with a lot of things. I just wanted to sit back in a corner and do me. But you know the strangest thing about great leadership, right? Great leadership, leaders can see things in you that you're hiding. They can see things in you that you can't obviously see in yourself. They know your strengths because they're great leaders. Most great leaders almost know what you're weak at. They know what you need to build up in. And so saying that about the leaders that we have, it is what it is. I mean, if this is your first month here with us at Family First Life, you're in the right place as long as you can accept those things. Okay? I focused on, and it's funny, emotional intelligence. I stopped worrying about everything that had happened bad to me and just start focusing on what was happening good for me. A lot of us are guilty of that. We're so guilty of worrying about everything that went wrong before you got here. If you don't believe me, I gave this challenge. Take time. Go buy you a little small suitcase. Don't get no big one because you'll put too much stuff in it. Get a small one. And then you want to take clothing that you don't like or don't want, or clothes that you want. It doesn't matter. But you want to take stuff and stack it in that suitcase. When that suitcase get full, I want you to get rid of that suitcase. Because that's the same way you get rid of all of the negative stuff that's going on around you. You put it inside of something, walk away from it, and don't look back at it. Because one thing about the past, you can't change it anyway. So why you keep driving looking backwards? And if you don't believe me that you can't do anything about the past, I want you, the next time you're in your car, going down the highway, street, it doesn't matter. I want you to see if you can go backwards with the car and drive. Sounds stupid, don't it? It is stupid for you to even think that you can do it. But practice moving forward. I only put the car in reverse when you got to, because that's the only time most people do it anyway. I've never passed a nut job going up the interstate. 75, 285, 675, 475, I-10, you name it, 95. I've never seen it going up a freeway where a joker has got the car in reverse and he passed me at 70 miles an hour in reverse. I've seen it in movies with special effects, but never have I seen that up close and personal. So why don't you stop trying to do it? Stop living in the past. Live for what your future is going to give you here at Family First Life. Open your mind. Change your attitude. Create some new activity. Attitude and activity. Yeah, it's right there. You know, read the writing on the wall. Figure out where you want to be. And that's all I did. I figured out where I wanted to be and who I wanted to be there with. What I wanted my life to be like. Was I really going to build a legacy for my family here at Family First Life? Was I going to plant my foot here and never worried about leaving, going anywhere else? See, I had to do that. But see, sometimes in order to do that, you got to cut off some people. You don't believe me? I'm telling you, you got to cut some people off. You got to run away from some of that negative stuff that you're dealing with, because you are never going to be successful until you do it. Yeah, that's the only way your success is going to show up. You got to cut them off. If they don't add to you, which means they're not added value, get rid of them. They serve you no purpose. They can't help you do anything. Because truth be told, if you took a full picture of who they are, their stuff is worse than yours, and they're trying to tell you about your stuff. That's one of the things that I really, really love that Shawn Meaike said a few years ago. I think it was my first boot camp back in 15. He said over there, I think it was over a stage of one of the breakout sessions. He says that if a person is not writing 20 grand a month, they can't teach you how to write 20 grand if they writing 3. Or if they writing 5, so why are you even entertaining a conversation with someone who's less than, in other words, who's doing less than you? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. You know, even for some of these people that, well, you know, I want to go to another team. For what? You're not doing nothing on the team you're on. Why don't you do something where you are? Because the thing about Family First Life, you don't have a manager in this company, thanks to our CEO being the visionary that he is. You don't have a manager in this company that can hold you back from nothing. Yeah, you can't be held back. Truth be told, you can pass them if you want to. So stop being so crazy. Start thinking about the benefits that you have. Think about the things that have been put in place for you. But now here's the other deal. If you don't take time to research, and when I say research, go to familyfirstlife.com and log into your CRM, look in the back office and see some of those things that have been put in place for you. If you're not doing none of that, you don't want it to work for you, no way. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I'm just going to move back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. I don't know what made me get off on that one. But anyway, being a team player in 2018, it was answering my phone. Somebody needed help, pick it up. Answer the phone. I answered it even when I didn't want to. Yeah. I've been finished working, and some people were still in the field on a whole different time zone than me, and they would call me, and I'd walk outside just to talk to them, help them through their situation. Why did you do that, Gaylin? Because somebody did it for me. I only did exactly the same thing that's been done for me all these years that I've been here. Every time I picked up the phone to call somebody for help, they answered. And what they said to me, they wanted me to be better. They wanted me to succeed. They wanted me to win. It's the only thing I've done different, people. I started treating this thing the same way I treat my relationship. Anytime Michelle calls me for something, I answer. Yeah. I do anything for people. But one of the things that we have to do as a team at Family First Life, we have to keep loving on people. That's what's going to make us weird. That's what sets us apart from all these other folks out here who claiming to be the best IMO. Yeah, I said claiming. I don't have to. I'm not gonna call their names, but they claiming to be the best IMO. And then people get over here and they wonder why didn't I find this first? Because I know we the best. We are the best at what we do. Ain't no craziness going on over here. Nobody's ever treated me bad. So I don't treat people bad. They just loved on me. Yeah, that's all. Hey, Gaylin, need help? Let me help you, bro. I remember the first annuity I wrote. I didn't know what I was doing. I called Mike, told Mike what I was, the man said he wasn't buying no insurance. Mike said, you do your client worksheet? I said, yes, sir. Got that done. He said, okay, cool, no problem. I said, so here's what we're going to do. I want to put you on the phone with him and want you to talk to him a little bit about that annuity thing. That's what happened. I wrote my first annuity. After that, it was easy. I listened very, very well. Great listener. You got to be a good listener. And so those are some of the things that I did. So what am I going to do different in 2019 versus 2018? I'm just going to do everything better than I did it in 18. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to communicate more. I'm going to be in more places. Like, I was like, ain't no need me going to the West Coast. I don't want to go to the West Coast. It takes too long to fly over there. And then if I catch red eye coming back, I'm dog tired when I get back the next day. So it's like, you know what? No, I'm not going. So guess what? I'm going to pop up on the West Coast now. I want to go over there and hang out with my partners over there. The funny thing about it is to work for a company where you got partners nationwide. You can't beat that feeling, y'all. It's like a weird brotherhood, brother and sisterhood, because we got some sisters in this business too. And you don't have to be a black woman to be my sister. I'm just saying. Well, you know, we got a lot of people in this business. I talk to everybody. And so you just got to want to get good at that. If you want to be a great team player, start treating your business like you treat your relationship. Now, if you ain't treating your relationship right, don't do that, because I don't want you to be my business partner. I'm going to run from you. I'm letting you know that up front. If your wife got a fake smile when I see her, I'm running from you. I ain't going to probably talk to you that much, because that means you're going to treat me the way you treat her or him, you know, and I don't want that treatment. Nope, not interested. Be a loving individual. Be kind to people. That's all we need in this whole world. The way I talked to a guy earlier today, and I was telling him, he was telling me about some experiences he had at the company he's with. And I told him, I said, bro, he said, what sets Family First Life apart from everybody else? I said, we love everybody, bro. He says, huh, excuse me? I said, yeah, we love everybody. We treat everybody with love and utmost respect. We want everybody to win. He says, wait a minute, so you're not going to tell me about the numbers? Bro, the numbers speak for themselves. I'm in a group that do $2-3 million a month. You see the numbers when you get here. I want to tell you about the part that I want to set you, go ahead and set you up for, and not set you up for failure, but set you up to understand this is going to be the most weird and emotional ride you've ever been on in your life, but yet it's going to be the best successful company you've ever worked for. That's how I hire now. That's all I'm saying to you. But you have got to want to do something different. I'm doing something different. I'm trying to figure out how many lives can I change for 2019. How many more people can we get to be six-figure income earners? How many more senior sales managers, VPs, EVPs can we find between now and the end, coming to the last quarter? How many can we find? It's a lot of them out there. So being a good teammate, go out and look for some people that need to be saved. Yeah, go out and hunt for them. They out there. They waiting. They hurting. They ain't making no money. They on 25% contracts, 35%, 45%. Being a manager on a 50% contract, managing other people. Can you imagine how miserable that has to be? And you got the ability, you got the key to save them, and you ain't saved nobody yet. Stop being selfish. Because now I realize that's all it was. Shawn told me one day, you know, Gaylin, why haven't you hired somebody yet, man? I don't want to hire nobody. You know, he said that's one of the most selfish things you could ever do. And I just looked at him, saying to myself, who does this man think he is telling me I'm selfish? But, you know, I had to fall back and say, you know what? He right. I'm being very, very selfish. Got the best products, the best company, and I ain't telling nobody. That's stupid. Got to change that, Gaylin. Yeah. Then I start hearing the same thing from Meaike Kilman. It's like, oh, yeah, you really got to change it. Now they're both saying the same identical thing to you. That's a problem. You got to do something about that. So I just changed those things. Started hiring. You know, wanted to talk more to people, wanted to help people more, wanted to appreciate others, be positive, manage my boundaries, avoid gossiping folks with negative stuff, listen actively. You know, those were the things that I wanted to focus on. So in closing, some of the things that I want you to focus on, key points. Develop your people skills. That's all I've done. Develop better skills. Identify your relationships needs. Know what you need in order to succeed. Schedule time to build relationships. Get on the phone with your manager, talk to them. You know, let them know where you are. Let them know where you want to go. And the good thing about being here, if they can't help you, somebody else will. Appreciate others. Learn to appreciate people. Always to say thank you. Saying thank you goes so far. You know, focus on emotional intelligence. Because, you know, some people are emotional wrecks. Some of them are just idiots. I'm just saying. Be positive. Manage your boundaries. Avoid gossiping. And listen actively. It's that simple, people. You know, I want you to be in the same place that I'm in. I want you to occupy the same space. I want to go across the stage with you. I want you to be better. Again, thank you to Shawn, Meaike Kilman, and the other powers that be that helped put this all together. I appreciate you all.
So you've heard from Athena, from Ryan, and from Gaylin about what they're going to do in 2019. You know, in 2019 it's up and upon us and moving. It's been here. And I think what you got to figure out is, how are you going to see yourself in 2019? Are you going to see yourself as a person, a man or woman, when you're in somebody's house that they should allow you to protect them, that you've earned the right to? Do you see yourself as that protector in their home? Do you see yourself as somebody who will stand up for them when other people won't? And as it pertains to building a business, do you see yourself that people should follow? Do you see yourself as a leader? You should, because I went to the convention, I didn't see one person and I mean this, that I didn't go like, oh man, I wouldn't want to be in business with them. I didn't see one person I go like, after they walked in the home, everybody I saw seemed very focused on protecting families and looking to be a leader and develop a business. You have to see yourself that way. You are that way, and you have the right to do that. Let's go have an amazing weekend, an amazing week, and 2019 is here. Don't let up. I appreciate your time today, guys. Thank you again, Athena, Ryan, and Gaylin. Outstanding job.